And all the good feeling that comes with that. Sorry, let me find it. Alright, this one's called Nature's Talk. Today, I stood atop the tallest mountain I could find. The sun rays that danced on my face said you're one of a kind. The wind that blew whispered you are beautiful. The buzz of the bee reminded me to stay humble. The sound the river made rushing told me it is okay to change your course. The thunder in the distance boomed you are going to be okay with so much force. The sound the leaves make while rustling actually are saying, I like you just the way you are. The bald eagle that flew overhead flapped his wings in a way to tell me not to let the people you love go too far. I heard a pine cone drop from a tree to remind me that sometimes parts of us fall. The squirrels scurrying told me just to think there is so much love in your life to recall. The way the smell of the wildflowers hit my senses, it said not to give up. A blue jay landed on the rock next to me and said, of course you're finding hate. You're looking for what is corrupt. The perfectly white, pillowy clouds against the blue sky way up above reminded me that there are so many parts of this world still untouched by your love. Raindrops began to fall as if saying, I am here to wash away your pain. The rain cleared to allow the most colorful rainbow to shoot across the sky, to show me there is so much beauty here that remains. The day gave way to a sunset that painted the sky in pastel hues, that said to me, you just have not been looking at the right muse. The pastel sky slowly darkened to a night sky speckled with so many stars you couldn't even call it dark. That night spoke to me. It said to me, it is time to leave your mark.
Thanks, Brittany. And next we have Ian Caton.
All right, this is chapter 1. This is not poetry. I had to get out. I had to get out right away. Some things had gone down and I had to get out right away. I was no longer welcome in my parents' house. But there was some good news. Kwan's room was soon to be available. He was moving back to Santa Ana and there was a real good possibility that I could get his little place. He lived with Debbie and Dee Dee, rented a room from them. Kwan was the guy who had given me my first tattoo. Did it all freehand. A steal your face with a yin-yang where the lightning bolt was supposed to be. Yin-yang your face with Rasta colors. Red on one side, green on the other. There were issues with the lightning bolt. How many points were there supposed to be? 13 was a lot of detail to put into a patch above my heart. 13, that sacred number. Bad luck to some. Jesus and his 12. Friday the 13th, but to others we knew it to be a power number. So when Kwan got his needles, he was ready to go. Come on, Ian, I put the circle right above your chest, but what should we use to make the circle? That tape roll's too small, it's got to be bigger. How about this coaster? No, that's too big, I said. How about this, duct tape? Yeah, perfect. So Kwan used a roll of duct tape, held it right there above my heart, with one hand, his left hand, and with his right hand, traced a perfect circle using black ink and the 3 needle set. So I just got this set, said Kwan. Come in the mail. I used the 3 bunch to make your circle. It has to be bold, has to have definition. You want to use black. Blue is no good. Blue ink is only used for prison tattoos, and they never use color. Those guys are true artists. Practice shading with the 5 bunch. But with this 3, we're going to make you a perfect circle. Plus, you're going to have color. This is no prison tattoo, so it has to be black. Black border, black outline, color tattoo. And he's telling me all this using both hands to make that circle, and his foot pedal to use to run the needle. Looked like an old sustain pedal from my Rhodes electric piano. All the while, Victor and Mike are back behind him laughing and grinning, pointing at my fat nipples. Victor with his shirt off, showing his tattoos on his chest and arms, the perfect musculature on his 4'10" brown body. And Mike, who wore a long-sleeved collared shirt and his black hair slicked back and shiny. Damn, Ian, that's gonna hurt when it gets up close to your neck, said Victor. Nah, Vic, hurts more when it gets close to my nipple. Big enough target, laughed Mike. Look at his body, said Vic. He's all swole. Swollen nipples anyway, said Mike, and they both started laughing. Shut up, you two, said Quan. I want to make this the perfect circle. He was just finishing up. There, admiring his handiwork. That's not coming off. So what are you going to use to make the circle skull? Here, I have that, said Quan, and he fished in his pocket, pulled something out. $50, he said. It's the perfect size to go with the duct tape circle. Make a perfect skull. So then what about the lightning bolt, I asked. Are you just going to draw that freehand? Well, that lightning bolt's kind of tricky. 12 points to it. No, there are 5 on one side, 6 on the other. Oh yeah, +2, top and bottom. 13 total. 13? Okay, let's do it. No, I don't know. Too tricky. This is my first tattoo. I don't want to do 13. How about an American flag right on the skull? Mike spoke up. How about a Confederate flag? No, I said. Too political. I don't want anything like that. How about a pot leaf? Said Vic. No, I said. This is going to be on my body forever. Then Quan got an idea. How about a yin-yang? And we all liked that idea. I don't know how it was determined to use red, green, and yellow, the Rasta colors, but it worked. But the skull face, the teeth, the eyes, and the nose, the point on his forehead, they were all done freehand, using the single needle. It's for adding detail, Quan would say. All the best artists do their tattoo work freehand, using a single needle. And Quan was too a real artist, and he'd lean in close to slowly add lines down the side of the skull, then with a wet washcloth wipe away the blood. Adding shadow and depth, treating my body as a canvas, he'd match the details from the seedy jewel case, and then gently applying the washcloth when too much blood would rise to the surface. Quan was a great artist, would use the same quiet care in his journal sketching out designs for Lexus sedans as he would applying the needle. He would tell me, the Lexus GS is the most beautiful, elegant car in the world. It uses philosophy from Zen to design that vehicle. Just a single brush stroke will create that concept. It is totally at one with its natural world. It is the most perfectly aerodynamic car ever created. It would just cut right through the road. It just cuts through the roadway effortlessly, passing other cars, leaving behind a trail of red lights. I could see it with cherry blossoms in the snow, leaving matching trails climbing Mount Fuji, the Lexus GS. So Quan was leaving, and that was sad for us, but good for me, too, because I could get his old room. And good for Debbie and Dee Dee as well, so they wouldn't have to spend money on an advert looking for another tenant, another roommate. Quan was the one who first took me to eat pho soup, who showed me to always wipe off your chopsticks and use your soup spoon because you never knew who was there before you. Who showed me to use the spoon in your left hand and the chopsticks in your right, to add the mint and the bean sprouts, the plum sauce and the sriracha. There's no one right way to eat soup, but to always order the number one. You can take out any parts you don't want to eat, he would say, but they all add flavor. And now he was leaving us. So I got the back bedroom. Dee Dee had the master bedroom. Tim used the other bedroom, and nobody knew which bedroom Debbie used because nobody ever saw her sleep. She was always up all night long on her PC, every night playing Tetris on one of those rent-a-center jobs. Tim was the man of the house. He was the sergeant of arms. He would set the rules from Dee Dee and see that they were enforced. No drinking Debbie's Mountain Dew. That was the big one. Clean up your mess. Respecting the kitchen and the bathroom. No friends over past 10 except on Saturdays and sometimes Fridays. And any other day you had to get permission. And how to recycle beer cans and gang activity and parking in front of the house and loud music and leaving your lights on and replacing the toilet paper and doing laundry and having pets and cleaning up after your friends and cable TV. And I was fine with all that. I didn't need cable TV. I had my books, I had my records. All I had was a mattress and a box springs, my TV with DVD player, my Nintendo 64, my stereo records, my books, my clothes, my drums were at the studio. Everything else was bullshit. We didn't need TV, didn't need to watch The Simpsons and Seinfeld. If I wanted to watch something, I'll put on Pink Floyd The Wall. I'll put on one of my DVDs, Full Metal Jacket or Clockwork Orange. I didn't need anything else, just my music and words. Got my writings, got my journals. To hell with everything else. To hell with my parents. Didn't need them either. I had a job, got me a room, cigarettes, can pay my rent, buy my own food, my beer, go to band practice. Nothing else mattered. Thanks.
Yeah.
You gonna take it up? All right, here comes the tattoo, everybody. Power of suggestion.
It's a perfect circle.
Yeah, someone did this earlier tonight where they were reading, it was Sharon, I think, and she said, and this is a true story. It always cracks me up when poets do that because everyone assumes that all the stories are true. So you know when someone says this is a true story, that was fucking true. You know? It's so much better because that's actually on your chest. Yes. So much better than a pretend imaginary tattoo as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. Yeah, so my brother Dan, who's big, he's bigger than me. He got almost all of his tattoos done by people that have no artistic talent. He was never in prison or anything, but he lived in Arizona for a little while, and I guess he would just get these drug dealers or jack-offs to, yeah. And so he had like his astrological signs was like a, you know, like a ram, you know. So he became Ram Tit forever. Forever. When he's 90, if any of the rest of us are still around, he's still going to be Ram Tit, yeah. So, and we say this with all affection, all affection. I typically read a few things at the end of the evening to end things, but we have Mike G here tonight, and Mike G is the best closer on the fucking planet. So therefore, sit down first for a second there, Mike. I am going to read something. I'm just going to read before Mike, and we're going to let Mike be the closer that he is and can be, and then there will be a short closing statement of housekeeping type of crap. So I knew that I wanted to read something for Tony, and I pulled out some stuff. I pulled out more than what I intended to do because I wanted to just see how the room felt. Or how I felt, I guess, by the time that rolled around. So we read a poem for Tony and then two newer poems by me. And the one that I chose is from Christmas 2011. And I'm choosing to share this with you because it mentions her mother, who I didn't meet and could not have met. And I know about Agnes because of talking to Tony and because of reading Windwing. And so that's why I decided that this is the one I want to share with you. It's sort of like to say thank you to Tony and also to Agnes, without whom Tony wouldn't be here, right? Merry Christmas, baby, or living the good life with my little Queenie. Another Bukowski morning in the household. A Bukowski Christmas, in fact, because we appreciate the negative capability of the drunken philosopher, the raging empathy, looking for a fight. Bukowski, Ginsberg, Dorian, and Joni dig that the small moments are where it's at, that life means nothing unless we give ourselves permission to experience joy and laughter, as well as suffering and despair. So we listen to Dylan, read poetry together, sit together holding hands, share coffee, sausage, ginger snaps, pecan pie, watch movies, marvel at geese flying overhead, make love first thing. Kind of glad that Damon walked out right when he did. Before we rub the sleep from our eyes, sit at the table conversing, do things differently, sort things out as a couple. You are the greatest gift I have ever received, a perpetually unfolding adventure that reveals new layers, deepening our intimacy, increasing my gratitude for each breath, each moment I am allowed. Thank you for loving me, for supporting me, for respecting me, for making me safe, for bringing calm to the chaos, for creating sanctuary in our home. Come and sit down beside me, my lover, my partner, my friend. Let me rest my head upon your breast, stroke my hair gently, and whisper to me now. Born into this glorious accident, this is the good life, a magic journey. This is how things should be. This Christmas, Agnes's fingers knead the cookie dough, and Ganesh smiles at our commingled hearts. So, Tony and I have been together for 12 years, so as you can imagine, you forget all the poems that you've written for each other. So it was kind of fun to look through the old ones. Okay, I think I know what I'm going to do here. This one is untitled for now. So when I read an untitled poem, I usually invite the audience to give me suggestions later, after you hear it. I'm open to suggestions. Notes for an unending last day, last minute wisdom imparted to the gal in sparkly shoes, ink salmon leaping up her summer calf, upstream into the hearts of sweaty incels, voluntary and otherwise, not an emasculating molecule in her, yet she will be shamed, criticized, and punished for the shape of her good nature. So, I didn't even know what the fucking incel was until we went and visited our friend Brittany Baldwin, who is a brilliant poet and also chef. Portland Home Chef is the name of her business. And it blew my fucking mind. And the more I've been able to learn about these assholes, the more I think they're fucking assholes, so I want to write a poem about them. Okay, if you don't know what it is, look it up. Incels is a fucking horrible atrocity. Probably Trump is responsible for that bullshit too. This is called Questioning Myself. Are you ready for the synchronicitous epiphanies contained in this hour? Do you long for the answer, an idea, inarguable and life-changing, to land gently on your open palm? Afterwards, will you finally acknowledge the presence of the mystery, the energy coursing through all and everything?
Yeah.
And now it is my honor and pleasure to introduce again to you Mike G. No one can close the show like Mike G. Here he comes.
Oh. It's always good to be here. As old friend Dennis McBride said a long, long time ago, when you've been in this community forever and you've written everything and you're very tired, sometimes it's okay to read the old shit. After all, Dennis went on, every 6 months or so the scene changes by a third, and really there's only a few old-timers who keep coming year after year, and the reason they do that is because they don't know how to do anything else with their lives. For you, Dennis McBride, I miss you. From 2007, I'd like to write Nice Someday. I'd like to write Nice Someday, a poem to share with my parents, non-offensive to their suburb slave camp America. I'd like to write about trees. Magnificent, multifoliate trees, naked, sunny, sweaty, spread-legged trees, beckoning with come-hither crotches. But when I see trees, I see broken fingers, ripped bunches ripping out of the suffering ground, tortured, insomniatic ground, trees that scream not to be. To be a wandering corpse is my dream.
To be a zombie writing poems on the complex metaphysics of eating brains. You, Christ, nailed to a broken middle finger. I come for you with my own good news. I go back to year 0, stab you in the manger. Squeal, squeal, warmongering God. Squeal, squeal, adversary of free mind in the cock vagina sunrise. You are smiling. I eat your brain. I'd like to write nice someday a brief lyrical piece about my ex-wife. How sublime the sun bleeds on the chains of our domesticity, gashes in the wall where your hurled knives strike. How wide you spread your legs for others our whole time, while I slave to pay for our whole time. The stars you scoop from my mind and toss in the trash I can't get back. The same I do to you. We are same, like tight and cold as our final draft. No more commingling in the kitchen, no more mowing amid the night radiance as one hot, wet organism, no more grace. I'd like to write nice someday. I'd like to not languish when I wake. porninthemorning.com/languish. I jack off twice by noon, finish this poem, jack off again. Languish till I'm back on stage, 5 minutes to thrive. There's a new smoking hot poet in town. It would never work. She's an alpha female. Guess I'll go back to my little notebook and beer. Keep my crush on the page where it's safe. Oh, dark Lord, let me languish no more. Breathe deep your dark music into my lungs that I may sing something true. A girl giggling in the waves before the rage of going mute. My shoulders slouch from the weight. Take this rage away. I'd like to write nice someday. There, a robin on the branch with a worm in her beak. In her brain are pretty constellations. Each is named. She named one for me. She taught me how to sing not pretty things, true things. The true is not always pretty. My robin taught me. My robin is the prettiest bird in the world. Shape-shifting, tender, wild. Emily Dickinson, pansexually arisen. Hatching from the prison, moonward she rises, flesh-made words, words made flesh, the worm in her beak is me, the sun on the leaves is blood, conjugal of robin and worm, illicit, crazy, mashing bestiality of lives crazy. I'd like to write nice someday, but when I wake, the robin at my side has tears which blaze on the feathers of her face. I nuzzle against them, I try to lick them back to happiness. Too much. I can't lick fast enough. My face should not have feathers, she says. My face is ugly. My feathers ugly. Not true. You are the prettiest bird in the world. Ain't nothing gonna stop you now. I desire the suffering ground happy. Every God-forsaken leaf, robin, worm. It's too much. Cold draft. I can't. I lack. I crack. Swallow me down, robin, make me not be. Neither robin on the branch, nor the robin in my bed act as I wish. They simply smile from their stanzas. They are poems with a lot of shit in them. They are words made flesh. They keep me alive with the rage and blaze of life. My life, ranting cunt and fuck on the mic. Poems I can't show my parents. Someday, I'd like to write nice. Today is not. There's languish to lick, heaped on a plate, high, hot, pressed to my face, lust, fear, pain. Thanks.
Woe to the poet who must follow the poet of steel. And much love and much respect to Dennis McBride. He's not doing great, but he is being well taken care of and well taken care of. Yeah, very important member of this community, and I think really important Northwest writer. If you don't know about him, check him out. Check out his stuff. So I wanted to say thank you to everybody for the energy that you brought to this, for your beautiful words, and for being so great to Tony at her book launch. I want to say thank you to Tiffany for videoing this. We haven't had a video for a while, so if you have friends that are elsewhere, or if like me, you have family that are in different parts of the country and they're curious what this whole ghost town thing is about, tell them that they'll be able to watch it soon enough on the YouTubes. Actually, she's amazingly fast. In the past, when we had Tiffany doing it on a regular basis, I would get home like around 10:30 and it was already up. I don't know how the fuck she did that. And she sometimes gives Mike G a ride home, so that's crazy that she is able to do that. Anyway, thank you. Thank you to Tony for her beautiful work and her beautiful new book. Woo! So thank you to Leah Jackson and the staff, and if you haven't sold up your bill, please do that, and please tip those guys, they really deserve it. Thank you to Damon, who's next door, for coming out from San Clemente. And yes, two more little announcement things. One is that Tony and I have been invited to bring all of the printed matter Vancouver poets, the people whose debut books of poetry we've done, to Redmond for an annual event that happens in a park there called Poets in the Park. So if you're up for a road trip or you know anybody that lives in Redmond, let them know that we'll be up there. The date for that is July 20th. And so the poets that will be going there with me and Tony will be Jenny Power, who was here earlier tonight, Tiffany, who we've done a book for, and Matthew Eifert Schroeder, who is going to school in Bellingham, but he's going to come for the reading. And I've been to this festival before. It's like an all-day thing. It's like 11 to 5 or something like that. I think they have something like 70 different featured poets. So if that sounds fun and interesting to you, come up. And like I said, if you know somebody who's up there, also tell them that we're coming. And it's free, yeah. There are also workshops, so it's hard sometimes to find free workshops. I believe the workshops are free, as far as I know, and everybody will have books for sale, obviously, too. So, how do you find out about it? Just go to Poets in the Park. I mean, I would Google that. If you're on Facebook, he's on Facebook. The guy who runs it is named Michael Dillon Welch. He's part of the Redmond Association of Spoken Word, and his website is called graceguts.org. Also, if you're a haiku enthusiast, graceguts.org is the most comprehensive website on haiku in all its different forms that I've ever seen in my life. And then the only other quick thing that I wanted to mention is please come back on August 8th. We're going to have Eugenia Petty, Javier Cavazos, and they're both from Central Washington, and they're bringing along Connor Simons, who is from Vancouver, who went to school in Central Washington, is now out in the Midwest doing his graduate work. So it's going to be a cool, fun night with a triple feature. We don't do that very often, but it's a special circumstance, so we're happy to have them here. And we have some flyers on the table if you'd like a reminder or would like to post one somewhere. So anyway, thanks again for another great Ghost Town Poetry Open Mic, and we'll see you next time. One more thing. Of course there is, I apologize. We have now instituted a little giveaway, and it's for the people who have read in the open mic, and we have to figure out a way to choose a number. What I did was I asked Damon, who's our special guest from San Clemente, to choose a number between 1 and 18. We have 18 readers tonight, and the number that he chose was 17, so congratulations, Mr. Caton. If you're wondering what's in the bag, you can ask Ian. There are going to be different things in the bag every month. But yes, little goodies to take with you, and so don't say that we never gave you anything. Okay?